Hello, thank you everybody for joining us today. We're very excited for this webinar with RE Technology and Referral Exchange. We have a ton of great content for you today about how to grow your business by growing your referrals. We've got some good panelists today that'll give you some great content. If you can go to the next slide.
Okay, why don't, Robin, should I take it away from here?
Go for it, Lisa.
Great. Well, good morning, everyone, and good afternoon, everyone. This is Lisa from Referral Exchange. I am the VP Marketing here at Referral Exchange. And we're really thrilled to have this opportunity to do this webinar for all of you on growing your referral business. And we've got a couple of important pieces but before I go to that, I want to introduce everyone who's going to be participating in this webinar today. We have Marilyn Wilson, who's going to join us in a few minutes. She is at another appointment, but she'll join us shortly. And Marilyn is the founding partner at realestatetechnology.com, which is the most comprehensive site for real estate technology information and education available today, and over 70,000 real estate agents just like you view that site on a daily basis. And Marilyn is a tremendous influencer in the industry, and I'm so thrilled to participate in a webinar with her. We also have me, and as I said, I'm the VP of Marketing at Referral Exchange. And Referral Exchange is an agent-to-agent referral service. We think of ourselves as a people company supported by technology, and you can think of us as the eHarmony or Match.com of agent-client connections. And we'll talk a little bit more about Referral Exchange later in the webinar. And then I'm also very excited to be joined by Ginger Childs, and Ginger is one of the amazing real estate agents in the Referral Exchange network. She's a top producing agent at RE/MAX Achievers in Collegeville, Pennsylvania, and she's been part of our network for 9 years. And at last count, she's helped over 31 of our clients buy or sell a home, and then she's also closed a number of outbound referrals with us where she's been looking for an agent to help one of her clients as well. So we're the folks who are going to be on the webinar today. Let's go to the next slide really quickly. Here are the things that we're going to, yes.
Can you hear me? It's Marilyn.
Oh, hi Marilyn, great. I'm glad you were able to join us. Hi there.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm stuck in a snowstorm at the moment.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no worries. So let me just jump in. We are really thrilled here to have Referral Exchange with us today. They do some really interesting things. I've talked to several of the agents that have participated in this program, and they absolutely love it. So we're going to talk to you about 65 ways to build your referral business, and Ginger's going to give you some really good insights on ways that she's used this program extremely successfully. Talk a little bit about the company itself, and you'll see on the page here that there's links to 2 really important referral guides. If you want to download those while we're talking, that would be great. If not, you can do that afterward as well, and you can kind of then walk through the list with Lisa and with Ginger. So enjoy. I think you're gonna love this. It's great. It's going to be a great way to make your 2017 awesome. Yeah, and here's the 2 download. If you see over on the right-hand side, there's one that's called Referral Tips underscore update, and one called Referral underscore planner. Please download both of those. They have some really good information for you and can really help you through this conversation as well. So with that, I will turn it back over to Lisa and Ginger, and they can walk you through all this amazingness.
Sure, and I know that we did a poll at the beginning of the session, and I think what I'd love for all of you to be able to do today is use the referral planner and use the referral tips. And for those of you who are doing 0 to 5 referrals a year, I'd love for you to be able to take some notes so you can get yourself to the next level. And those of you at 5 to 10, let's see if we can bump you up to 11 to 15, because referrals represent a tremendous opportunity for you to grow your business. Our CEO always says you can help people buy homes, you can help people sell homes, and you can also help refer people to buy and sell homes. And that really becomes an exciting additional opportunity for you to generate revenue and grow your business, especially in this time of lower inventories that we're all seeing in the industry. So make sure you download these handouts and use that referral planner to follow along and see if anything sparks your interest. I always say if you can get 3 great ideas out of a webinar, then it's been successful. So hopefully we'll give you at least 3 out of the 65 that you think you can implement. So the first thing that I want everyone to think about when they're thinking about referrals is to think any and every. And it's really anyone, anywhere, everywhere should know that you're a real estate agent. You want to be recognized because you want to be able to take advantage of those opportunities when they arise. Any conversation, connection, or contact can turn into a referral opportunity. So you need to make sure that people know what you do. And so those of you who have a hat, a polo shirt, socks I know are a big thing, a scarf or a name tag, make sure you're always identifying yourself as a real estate agent so that if someone does have a need, they can ask you about it. Now, back in the days when I started, so you can see how old I am, the Century 21 agents used to wear gold coats, and that was a great identifier. And I know that they don't anymore, but make sure you're always wearing logo wear so in any situation, people know what you do. So let's go on to the next slide. So what I've done with these referral tips today is I've grouped them into different categories of referral opportunities. And again, what you're trying to do with these referrals is tell the story of who you are and what you do and make them interested in your business. So the first referral opportunity, and I'm sure that many of you have taken advantage of this, are your friends, family members, and acquaintances. So these are your neighbors, these are your relatives, your coworkers, your spouse, your children, your children's friends, your traditional sphere of influence. And you should always be asking for referral business. And let's go to the next slide so we can talk about some ways that you can do this. So I think what's important when you're talking to your sphere of influence is to really make it relevant to them. Besides simply asking for the business, you also need to think about ways that and manners that you can promote yourself in something that's going to be interesting to them. So for example, with social media postings that I know that we're all doing, instead of simply saying I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom with a great backyard, maybe if you're talking to some of your friends or to some of your relatives, you can say, I just listed a property with an amazing backyard that reminded me of Grandma's backyard. So what you're doing is, instead of just saying, oh, I'm promoting this property, you can make it interesting and bring back memories that they can associate with you. Make sure you find a funny story that you can put into your holiday updates. Save up your best real estate story that you can talk about with your clients. You know, do you remember when we had to buy that house? Well, I had another situation with a buyer that I had. Again, try to find that common ground. Any social activities, you can sponsor friends and family events. I know a lot of folks have family reunions. They also have local golf tournaments. I have a friend whose family does a local golf tournament every year. Here's an opportunity for you and your business to participate and sponsor that. And then one of our agents, and this is one of my favorite stories, she created a family tree and she sent it everywhere. She joined Ancestry.com, but she just used her real estate signature. So she wasn't asking for any business, but in her signature it said that she was a real estate agent. So even though her direct family members knew that she was a real estate agent. Now her cousins knew, and the sisters of the cousins knew. So she was able to expand her sphere of influence to cover a much wider range and network. Ginger, what are some of the things that you've done in the past to really talk to your friends and family members and sphere of influence when you're trying to gain more referrals?
Well, I have to tell you this by starting. Originally, when I went into the business 18 years ago, I first said to my manager, I'm absolutely not going to contact any of my friends or family members for leads. And she's like, what? And I'm like, no, I'm not comfortable with it. Well, I quickly learned if I was going to be successful in this business, they were my first point of contact. So that's where I start. I constantly, like you said, I let anybody I know, and I don't do it in a pushy way, but I let anybody that I'm talking with know that I'm a realtor. And as an example, the gym for me is I've gotten a lot of clients from the gym. And what I've done is throughout the year, I do a lot of the classes, I've come to know a lot of people. I actually, always give them out calendars in the beginning of the year. I give them the sports schedules through the year. When I also do mailings or, advertising in neighborhoods, I always say that I'm a member of ReferralExchange. And when I've come to the point that I pay a lot closer attention to giving out referrals anymore, because obviously it's a nice source of income for me that, you usually don't count on. But again, when I was first in the business and I did a lot of relocation work and I started at Century 21, I was like, I didn't do a lot of referrals. And with ReferralExchange, that's kind of first and foremost on my mind. So I pay a lot of attention to what, people that I'm talking to, even if somebody I bump into in the store that I don't even know and I start talking to, that I'm like, hey, if you're moving or somebody that's moving, I can help you.
Perfect. And that actually leads us into group 2, and that's a great segue. So why don't we go ahead? And that's what I call the not-so-chance encounters. And it's really turning those random conversations into business opportunities, just like Ginger said. Maybe you're on vacation, maybe you're shopping at the grocery store, or you're traveling for business, or you're just simply running errands. Going to garage sales and estate sales can also be a great opportunity of finding out if someone's planning to move or has a real estate need. So again, that's why I think that logo wear and letting people know what you do is so critical. And I know that's hard to do, and that's why I think logo wear or something makes it so easy, because it immediately identifies you as a real estate agent and as a subject matter expert. But if you can slip what you do into the conversation, it can provide a great opportunity. So let's go to the next slide. And it's just those opening lines. So when I say those not-so-chance encounters, maybe come up with some opening lines or icebreakers that you're going to say to people when you're at the store. Think about how you're going to suddenly let people know what you do without saying, hi, my name is Lisa, I'm a real estate agent. The logo wear is great. Just simply saying hello is also good. I know that when I get on a plane, I always force myself within the first 15 minutes to speak with whoever is next to me in the seat. I mean, obviously, if there are noses in the book, I try not to bug them. But just hello, how are you? Are you going home? Are you going someplace on vacation or work? And it's amazing how simply saying that can start the conversation. I was on a business trip about a year and a half ago, and I ended up speaking to a woman who was a downsizer. She had a downsizing business, so she helped people who were moving from larger homes into smaller properties figure out what furniture and things like that they needed to keep. And it turned out she worked with about 30 different agents. So I was able to explain to her what we did, and we created a special coupon so that she could tell all of her agents about what we did. And that was simply by saying hello on the airplane. And so I give myself a 15-minute window, and then I give myself permission to go back and read my book or do my jigsaw puzzles or Sudoku or whatever I'm going to do. But make sure you have your talking points ready so that when someone does say, oh, are you a real estate agent, or you know how you're going to enter into that conversation. Ginger, any fun tips, or how do you let people know that you're a real estate agent?
You know, I think I pretty much do it off the cuff. I don't have anything planned that I'm going to say, but I'm one of those people that if I'm standing in the deli line at the grocery store and there's, 5 people, 10 people ahead of me, I just start talking to them because it's like I just can't not stand there and not talk. But I've met a lot of people that way. But I always find a way, even I'll give you a recent example. My dad's been in the hospital, and I'll start talking to the nurses and asking questions. And I don't even know how I get to that point, but I always find that with whomever I'm talking to, I do get to that point without being pushy to let them know I am a realtor and that I can assist them. But I also, at the same time, when I'm out and about, especially if I'm going to have a coat on or whatever, like you're talking about logo wear, I always have like a Remax pin. So, and people do notice that kind of stuff. So, and again, it's that whole thing going back with this business. Repetition, repetition. So it's like when you're, like I said, when I hand out calendars at the gym, and like I said, I belong to LA Fitness, so it's a rather large gym, and I go to several locations. It's constantly reminding them. So I think, again, when they say people need to see things 5 to 7 times till they catch on, I always make it, not that I'm pushing, like I said, but that they know I'm a realtor, so that when they think realtor, they're thinking me. And I always, as well, try to stay in touch with previous clients. And a lot of that help comes from social media, just kind of, commenting on things they post and whatnot. So again, it's always coming back to they're thinking realtor, they're thinking me.
Perfect. All right, let's go on to group 3, which are your professional contacts. And I think what's interesting about this group, the doctors, the dentists, the veterinarians, just like you're a subject matter expert in the field of real estate, and everybody loves talking about real estate, these folks are the subject matter experts in their fields. And there's a certain trust level associated with this group. Obviously, your doctor, a dentist, a veterinarian, an attorney, and they really hold a sense of expertise and weight when people are speaking with them. So those referrals from them are very important. So it's critical to nurture this group because they can be a real advocate on your behalf if they're recommending you. And what's also interesting about this group, and then the next group that we're going to in a minute, is that they also seem to know what's going on. They have the pulse of the community. If their clients are moving, if they get new clients in, all of these represent opportunities to find new prospective business. Let's go on to the next slide too.
Lisa, can I interject there?
Absolutely.
Okay, in terms of the professional contacts, and again, I use this very extensively. I've had previous clients that obviously have been doctors, chiropractors, dentists, orthodontists. So what I've also done at the same time is, again, because they know me and they trust me, I've received a lot of referrals myself, just personally from them. But they've also allowed me to leave, again, calendars, just like pens, whatever, in their business, where they have a section, of, their kind of social networking that they use and other professionals that they would refer to. So that's a source of income for me too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let's go to the next group because I'm sure you use these folks as well. And those are your service contacts. Yep. So people at the hair salon or the dry cleaners, the nail salon, tailor, coffee shop, all of these folks really know what's going on in the trenches on a daily basis, even more so than some of the professional contacts because they don't see folks quite as frequently as the service contacts do. You get your nails done every week, every other week, they're going to know what's going on. The people at the dry cleaner do. So it's really great to nurture those relationships. And again, let them know what you do. Don't be afraid to let them know what you do. And finally, the last group within this whole contact group, let's go to the next slide, are all of your business-focused contacts. So the builders, the former agents in the area, the appraiser, the moving companies, all of those business-related folks within the real estate industry or construction industry are all critical for you to nurture and contact with. And then, of course, the past clients and the friends and family members. So now, beyond some of the ideas that Ginger had, let's talk about some other things that you can do to work with them. So let's go to the next slide. So I think, Ginger, what you said was great. You know, make sure that you have business cards and calendars and pens in their offices as long as they'll allow you to do it. Make sure you exchange business cards. Also, give them something refillable. Giving them a candy dish or something that you can bring refills to on a regular basis is always a great excuse for you to stop by and say hello without necessarily having to stop by and saying, just checking to see if you know someone who's moving. If you give them a candy dish or something that needs to be refilled, then maybe it's just a little phone cleaner or something like that, then it gives you an excuse to stop by and say hello and bring them those refills. You can also offer discounts and coupons from preferred vendors to your clients. I know that I love going to open houses. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I love the open houses where you'll go to an open house, and in addition to those flyers that you see where people will do loan breakouts for you, it's also great for those agents who have tip sheets of local contractors, local painters, local handymen that you can pick up and have, and then also any coupons that are relevant. I also love multi-purposing these types of things, and these are great pieces to put in listing presentations and also home buyer packages when you're putting together those. When we bought our house in the Bay Area a long, long time ago, my listing agent gave me a flyer with some local pediatricians because we had new kids at that point. We had babies, and then also a couple of handymen, some of the local dry cleaners, and just some of the kid-friendly restaurants. So I had that flyer on my refrigerator for years, and she had the flyer with her name and contact information with all these names. And what's even cooler about this is that you can customize that. So if you have a client who maybe is a first-time buyer or who has young children, then you put information on that flyer that's relevant to them. If you have a client who is an empty nester, then maybe you include different vendors who are relevant to them. So have fun with all of the relationships that you have, and use it not only to promote you, but to promote back in kind. Ginger, anything else to add in this section?
No, I think like I said, you pretty much covered it. But I do the same thing too as when you were talking about just even giving them something refillable. Also do a system where different clients, I'll just pop by their house or their business, that even if like I said, when I say pop by a business, and drop them something off, a value. So it's always, and it could be a little thing, but it's always, again, things that you want to keep, in front of them so that when they're thinking realtor, they're thinking you. So that you stand out among everybody else that's, dropping something by or saying, oh, can I leave my business card there? It's, again, when they get to know you, personally, I think it goes a lot further.
Absolutely. All right, let's go on to the next group. And those groups are your organizations, associations, and groups. So one thing that I have found, and I'm sure all of us on this call have found, is that people like working with people like themselves, people who have like interests and like activities. And I think that working with any organizations or clubs that you're a member of, again, letting them know that you're a subject matter expert can really be an opportunity for you. So if you're a member of a book club, maybe host it in the conference room of your office one time. If you're a member of a charity group or an organization, make sure that you promote it or sponsor it. get the agents in your office to host a bill day for Habitat for Humanity or any other a charity that you're a member of. For example, I'm president of an organization in the Bay Area called the Princess Project, and we give free prom dresses to Bay Area girls who need it. And every year, all the women in our office come and volunteer during one of our giveaway days. So I've let everybody know that this is an organization that I'm passionate about, and then I've pulled in other folks from my office to help volunteer. And it's a great way for people who also volunteer at the giveaway days to know what I do and to ask about our business and how it works, because we do have a number of real estate agents who also volunteer. So I've been able to get some agents into the Referral Exchange network just by letting them know where I work and what I do. Union groups, alumni associations, a sports team or a league, if you are a member of a church or a synagogue, the health club like Ginger mentioned, any men's or women's clubs that you're a member of, homeowners associations, and any PTA or parent-teacher associations are all great groups for you to get involved. But again, make sure that you're doing a little business card ad or you're sponsoring something so that you can generate awareness and let people know what you do. So let's go on to the next slide, which talks about some of the things that you can do with this. And I know that Ginger mentioned, again, those calendars and pens are great, but you can also hold a home buying seminar for these groups. A lot of times folks are either want to do a first-time buyer seminar, maybe it's a group where there are a lot of first-time home buyers, especially in the elementary school level, or they're thinking about selling a property. Again, if you're a member of a women's group where a lot of you are becoming empty nesters and maybe folks want to downsize, you can also advertise or write an article in your local newsletter or post it on the website about homebuyer trends, again, that are relevant to them. Maybe what you want to do is promote that you'll make a small donation to the charity or the organization if they use you as a real estate agent. So continuously look for ways to link that relationship with what you do. Ginger, anything to add here?
I'm sorry about that, Lisa. What I also try to do as well is make up actual packets as well for different businesses to drop them off in, or like different clubs and whatnot. And another perfect example is when you're talking about advertising or writing in an article. What I will do is I will also advertise in like some of the local church, the handouts they give each week, the bulletins. So again, it's constantly where each week that they get, a bulletin from the church, they see your name in your ad.
Perfect. Sorry, I had myself muted for a second. So really looking for those opportunities to generate awareness again and tell people what you do is a great way to get additional business. So let's go on to the next group, which are corporate relocations and partnerships. And I think every city or town that we live in has some kind of a company it's a small to mid-sized company. It may be a university, a college, a local sports team, a regional retailer that hires a number of folks in your area. Maybe they're moving into the area, maybe they're moving out of the area. In where I live, there's a small department store, and they have about 4 different stores throughout the Bay Area, and they're constantly moving folks around. And what you want to do is potentially act as a corporate relocation partner. Some of these companies and organizations aren't big enough to really have a full relocation department, but you can really be that personal relocation expert for folks who are moving into the area and also out of the area as well. So look for those companies or organizations that might be moving folks, and make sure you take advantage of that opportunity. And let's go to the next slide, and we'll talk about how we can do that. So again, speak to the benefits manager, really what you need to do is put together a listing presentation that's maybe a little bit more corporate focused or more than a single neighborhood. Maybe think about putting together a listing presentation for the area that's targeted to potential multiple buyers or sellers as opposed to just one. So adapt your current listing presentation to support that. And you really want to speak to the benefits person at this company. And they're usually in the human resources department. You kind of need to figure out who you need to speak with. But what you're doing is benefits are expensive, and as the job market is starting to pick up, these companies are always looking for added benefits that they can give to their employees without it costing them any money. So you can go in and you can offer to act as their in-house relocation company. So not only are you helping the new hires, people who are transferring in and out, but you can also be a subject matter expert by holding home buyer and seller events like lunch and learns, and doing a quick brown bag lunch or bringing in pizza or a sandwich platter can be a great way of giving employees a break without them having to leave their office, but answering any questions that they might have. In fact, I also know of an agent who has a cubicle at their local company, and they have office hours that they post on the intranet website, so that if someone does have a question about selling or buying a property, they can just go down to that cubicle or set an appointment to have any of their questions answered directly at their office. So they don't even have to go anywhere, and it's tremendously convenient. Ginger, have you ever done anything like this at all with any of your clients?
Actually, I have. We have several pharmaceutical companies around us. So what I'll do is I will actually, sign up to go when we have the different times. I'll have like different business days, and I'll actually sign up to go, sit at a table and, converse with several other businesses there and people that are coming to that event that day. Just again, to hand out marketing information on myself, whatever it may be. There was something else I was going to mention, which I can't think at the moment, that I do, which will probably come to me, but I did forget. But
that's okay. We'll come back to it.
It's constantly, like you said, it's putting yourself out there. So every person you come in contact with every day, like even if you're not planning on going out that day, okay, you're going to be doing at home, doing office work. I make it a point to go out somewhere every day and to hand out at least 5 business cards. And people think, what? It's easier to do than you think. So again, and when people get to know you, like I said, then they trust you. So it's again, I go to a lot of the same places, but I've always engaged myself in a conversation.
Exactly. And when I started in this business a bazillion years ago, when I started working on the Century 21 account, I actually started in advertising, and one of my jobs was to go and meet with all the Century 21 agents and just talk about their marketing efforts and come up with local marketing materials and things that they could do. And I remember meeting with one agent in Texas, and it's a relatively small town in Texas, but I followed him around for the day, and he knew everyone, and he let everyone know, if by some chance he didn't know them, what he did. We went to lunch, and there was a new server, and she had just moved to the area, and he introduced himself and let her know that he was with the local Century 21 office, and she said, "Oh, you're a real estate agent. Well, I need to sell my condo." And by the end of lunch, he knew her entire life story, and he was finding her an agent to help her with her condo, and he was also going to call her to set up an appointment to go look for townhouses in the new town that she had recently moved to. So I love exactly what you said, Ginger. You just have to be out there, and you just have to let people know what you do and take advantage of every single conversation or opportunity.
Which brings me, which I did remember what I was going to say.
Okay, perfect.
And what that was is, like, our office holds a lot of different events and a lot of, community-based volunteer projects. So again, it's always, getting involved with them, signing up to go to Children's Hospital or the community days or whatever it may be. Again, just so that you're involved. And like then our office does a lot with follow-up with, putting pictures, on the internet, as well as also, posting them in the newspaper still and whatnot. The other thing which they did with our office, which is kind of cool, is in terms of, you talk about handing out business cards. They recommend you go up to somebody, whether it be a waitress, like you said, a receptionist somewhere, cashier, whomever it may be, okay? And you ask them if they're willing to answer 3 questions for $1. And I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but you ask them, like, again, dealing with real estate, name a real estate agent who constantly comes to mind. How do you know that individual or their name? Would you use only them for your next real estate deal? Well, when you give them your business card and you give them the $1, guess what? They're going to remember, because how many people do they get $1 from? And I've done that before. And it just kind of takes them off guard. Or even if you want to go a little bit further and give them a $5, you know what I mean, with the business card, they're going to think that, and they're going to keep your card.
I love it. I love it. You're almost doing a little mini focus group, but
Yes.
You're doing it in a fun and different way, so they'll remember you. And when someone asks for an agent, who are they going to think about? The person who gave them the $1. I love it. So now let's go on to the final group. We're getting through this, and again, all of these are listed on the referral tips that you downloaded, and we'll be saving a copy of this PowerPoint deck, and we'll attach it in the thank you email that we send out to everyone. So don't worry about trying to keep track of everything that we've listed here. You'll be able to see a copy of it later. You can always email me at the end of the presentation, and I'm happy to send this to you as well. So let's talk about the final group, which is advertising and marketing and social media and all those ways that you can do virtual promotions of who you are. You can't always be out and about and meeting people in person, so you need to do social marketing and advertising to virtually meet people from a distance and make yourself virtually relevant to them and communicate your personality and expertise on an electronic level, so to speak. And that's really in your social media channels, on Facebook, on Twitter. You need to think about who your clients are and make sure that you're talking to them in the social channels that they use. If you have a lot of older clients who are on Facebook, make sure that you're on Facebook. If you're working with a lot of millennials or first-time homebuyers, it's probably more important to be on Instagram or even Snapchat, because those social channels tend to skew a lot younger. So make sure when you're on social media on a regular basis that you're really on those channels that your prospective clients and your clients are going to be seeing you on. It doesn't make sense for you to be on Snapchat if none of your clients and your prospective clients are using it. Also think about local web advertising, any quarterly mailings that you want to do, lead purchase programs. If there's a local paper or a website, radio or television station, make sure you're writing advertorials or informational articles for your local paper. If there's a local website, such as the patch websites tend to be very local, see if you can write some articles for that. If there's a local station, maybe you can host a regular Sunday morning radio show. All these things to get yourself visible in the community and get your name out from an advertising level. Also, just sold or just listed postcards or emails. Let people know that you've just sold or listed a property in your neighborhood. And then finally, telemarketing. I know that telemarketing is really hard, but it can also provide some great opportunities for you. And let's go on to the next slide, and then Ginger, I'm going to pull you in. I know you've touched base about this. It's really important to hyper-focus when you're doing this type of marketing. Really focus on zip codes that are relevant to you, areas, demographics. If you speak a second language and there's another language paper in your area, go ahead and advertise there or write an article. And then make sure you follow up on your leads ASAP. You know, it used to be that you could follow up with someone in 24 hours, then it went down to 12 hours, then it went down to, I think it's now down to, people expect some kind of a response within 5 to 7 minutes. So you don't necessarily have to give them a full response, but you need to let them know that you heard their request. And then, of course, adhere to the 80-20 rule. Do testing. You should try and test all of these at least 3 times to see what's working, but then give the leads or the business, or get rid of those programs that aren't working for you. Look at the ones that give you the biggest bang for your buck, and then focus in on those. And if you do have a program that's generating leads that doesn't make sense, that don't make sense for you to work, maybe the price point's too low, maybe it's too far out, don't throw away those leads. Give them to someone else. You can still generate revenue from a referral fee, but make sure that you're focusing on those areas that work best for you. Ginger, any tips about advertising or marketing?
Yes, Lisa. As a matter of fact, going back to that group 8 of advertising and marketing, I use the bulk of them because, again, when you're talking social media, it's free advertising, so it's a great source to take advantage of. The mailings, you got to keep them continual. And like with our office, we do a lot with the just sold listed postcards. Again, it's a way of getting somebody who's contemplating that, let's say that lives in the development you just sold a house in, that's contemplating possibly selling their house, and then they see that you sold the house quickly. It's the best way to get business that you didn't expect. So I do a lot with that as well. But again, I've gone a lot more, especially like you were saying, with the millennials. They seem to be where they check with each other a lot when making a decision. So they will, contact multiple people to get their opinion. So again, if they've had somebody that they've spoken to has had a good experience with you, it's just one more in that you have. So it's, again, like you said, you've got to stay up on all the latest and greatest, and kind of, it's reteaching yourself a lot of things that you're like, oh, I'm never going to go on Facebook. I was one of those people, I'm never going on Facebook. And then all of a sudden I thought, you know what, why not? I'm like, it's a good way to keep in contact with people, even if you just comment on something they said. But again, the way I designed mine was, every time they pull up mine, they see the Remax. So it's a constant reminder. So, all my contacts see that. And it's like I said, you've got to stay in front of them. And I used to think, early on in the business, again, not knowing, why would I be keeping contact with the people that I just sold a house to? They're not going to buy. They're not going to sell after several years. They may never sell. But you know what? When you do, because you've stayed, in front of them, they come back to you. So it's, again, I constantly reach out to my database several times a year, several times. Lisa? Hello?
Oops, sorry. I accidentally muted myself when I was unmuting myself. So, Ginger, what other types? I know that we covered a lot. We covered 65, and I love the 3 questions for $1 any idea. Any other ideas and ways and things that you do to generate referrals from both your current and past clients?
Well, I don't hesitate at any time, and again, I'll use different avenues, so I won't just automatically, go to emailing. I will, when I'm reaching out, I'm going to use email, I'm going to use texting, I'll use phone calls, mailings, in person. So it's, again, it's a total, I use a lot of mixing it up, but I constantly, like I said, I think because, like I said, as a realtor, to be successful, you've got to constantly be motivated. So it's like you've got to put yourself out there, and you got to push yourself. So things that may be a little bit uncomfortable, the more you do them with anything else, it becomes comfortable, it becomes old nature. So I do constantly, like I said, use every possible avenue, social media, to constantly reach out to people and just let them know I'm thinking of them. Or even if somebody, a prior client or family member, whoever, posts something, just to comment on it so that, again, they see that, you're more than business, that you care about them.
Great. Great. And I think one other thing that's important to do in this day and age, and Robin, let's go to the next slide, is thinking about how you can expand your network nationwide. I think back in the olden days, and again, I know I'm dating myself, I remember when I graduated from college and I moved to Los Angeles for my first job, I actually switched banks because I needed a bank that could help me in Los Angeles, and I had been in the Bay Area. And how many of us would ever think of doing that nowadays? Just because we move, we take our bank with us. We would never think of closing an account and opening a new one. So really the world has gone virtual and national, and you need to be a support for your clients and past clients, not just for those of your clients who are in your own backyard, but you also need to provide support and advice and be their realtor for life in some ways, even if they're moving 1,000 miles away. And that means really being able to help them and support them and getting that referral fee and getting that incremental business. Like I know you mentioned at the beginning of our conversation about helping them find an agent on the other side of the transaction. Or if you're doing telemarketing, if you happen to speak with someone who is about to move to a different area, not only can you help them with the property that they might be selling, but you can also help them find an agent for the property that they're buying. So really you need to be able to think on a national basis by focusing on what you do best, by helping your clients on that whole local level. So let's talk a minute about, out-of-area referrals today, and let's go to the next slide, which is what do you do today when you need to find an agent? You have a client who's moving, or maybe you have a potential buyer or seller who's located an hour or two away, and you really don't want to be driving there on a regular basis to show them properties. You can use your in-house agent to find a prospective agent. You can test your Google skills. I'm really good at Google, but not everybody is. Or you can use another online resource. But really, you need to be providing this national level of support for everyone, because that's the new expectation. And let's go to the next slide. Because I know that it can be challenging. It doesn't always work. Even if you do find an agent, you have to hound them. You have to make sure they're taking care of your clients. You have to be following up with your clients to make sure that they're happy. And then, of course, you have to make sure that you get paid, which can sometimes be a bit of a challenge. So one of the solutions when you're thinking about this expanding your business nationwide and expanding your business to support any lead, conversation, or connection, like we talked about at the beginning of the presentation about the webinar, is, having a conversation even if you're on an airplane and helping someone, even if they're located 100 miles away from you. You need to be able to provide that support. And of course, let's go to the next slide, that ReferralExchange can help you do it, because we have 20,000 agents who are as amazing as Ginger, and we've been in business for 12 years. And as I said, we're a people company supported by technology. We have great technology to help make our process work, but we really believe in developing relationships with our agents and our clients and giving them the best possible real estate experience. And here's how we work. Let's go to the next slide. So what you can do is, if you have a client who's moving out of your area or a lead you don't have time to follow up on for any reason whatsoever, you can go ahead and put them into the service. We'll match them with 3 agents, and we will contact them to see what fits their needs, and then we'll manage the whole process for you, and we'll give you a 25% referral fee when it's closed. Okay, let's go on to the next one. I know that we're running out of time, so I want to give Ginger just a few minutes to talk about how she's used the service and how ReferralExchange has helped you, and then we can go back and we can take some questions about referrals and referral tips.
Okay, Lisa, like I had said, I used to not do a lot with referrals just because it was like, oh, you know what, I don't have the time to just, look up X company and especially I'm going to say with being with RE/MAX, I don't have time to look up, RE/MAX offices in, let's say, Virginia, and just, start calling agents or whatever, especially because if you're busy, you don't have that added time. So when I became a member of ReferralExchange, like I said, everything changed because I totally started thinking differently. And I will absolutely say for anybody, looking to sign up for ReferralExchange, the people at the company, every single one, are so professional and so helpful. So what I normally do is, like I said, I'm very astute now to even over listening to people's conversations if I hear something about moving and then kind of jumping in there. And I'm like, I can help you. Or if I'm out on a listing appointment, oh, you're moving here? I can help you. So what I do is I go over the information with my person, my client, and if they're looking to buy in another state, another locale, even if it's not that far from me, or they're looking to sell, say they own a house X in another state, I'm like, I can help you. So I get detailed information on them of what their needs are, what kind of agent they're looking for, specifics on the house and everything else. And then I go on and enter the information directly on ReferralExchange right on the website. And what's great about it is it literally takes less than 5 minutes. If I need to provide additional information, I will call in and say, you know what, this person doesn't need to be contacted here, they want to wait or whatever, because ReferralExchange, they're on the ball. So immediately when you submit it, they're already ready to hook up the agents and contact. So sometimes if the client wants a couple days or a couple hours, I will call in to let them know that. But I give as much information as I can, but once the client of mine is matched up, I can then look on there and I tell my people, I can assist you with this. I can also look to see what agents have been referred to them, can help them in what questions to ask that agent. I can also contact the agent myself directly right on ReferralExchange website. So it makes it really easy. And what's good about it is I can also stay in touch with that client, so again, they know that I'm not just referring them and done with it. I'm also in contact with the agents that they may be looking at working with. So it's kind of, depending on how detailed the agent on the other end goes, can keep, a direct connection going, communication throughout, that client's, buying or selling process. And then at the end, you automatically get your check, but it's constantly where ReferralExchange also updates you so that okay, check has been received, you can expect payment, whatever. It has just been such a great resource for my business because I've done a lot of business that I never intended to, and I'm like I said, it's easy.
It sounds great. Can you guys hear me now? This is Marilyn.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Ginger, it sounds like you've had great success with this program, and what it's really neat that I think of is you're kind of almost getting, I don't want to say passive income, but kind of. It's certainly not as much work as going through a full transaction, I would guess, so it's great. We've got a bunch of questions coming in, so I'm going to, I'll pass them over. I think some are for you, Lisa, and some are for you, Ginger. But the first one was for you, Lisa. How do you manage the agents or decide what 3 agents receive the referral?
Sure. So we have about 18 different algorithms that we use to connect the agents and the clients together. So when I talk about eHarmony or Match.com, we're really using those algorithms, and then every agent usually writes notes into, when they submit a referral, they'll write notes about the client, which we read. We read every single one of those notes, and they might say, oh, this is a first-time buyer, we need an agent who's gentle with them, or these people want a super shark to help them negotiate. So we'll try and look at their specific needs and then match the agents together. We've built a network of 20,000 agents. We're in every populated zip code, and if there's a person there and a home there, we generally have an agent, but we'll only pull from top producing agents in the market to make sure that people are really having a great experience.
So you're sending it to somebody safe on the other end. That's great.
Exactly.
I'm sure it makes it stronger. Yeah.
And
here's another question.
Ask us,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You can always ask us for more agents, and the agents can be as involved or uninvolved in the process as they want to be.
Gotcha. Here's another question. Do you have a referral form you use to capture referrals from agents as they work with their clients?
We have a referral form that you can download. We actually have a paper referral form that you can download from our website in the resources section, but all of it is done online. So you go online. Once you sign up for our service, you are eligible to submit as many referrals as you want, and you just you just submit the referral, and we have all the payment and referral agreements and everything all built into the service. So we handle all of that as well.
Gotcha. And here's a question. How do I set up my account? Oh, it just jumped. Hold on a second. How do I set up my account to send referrals via ReferralExchange?
So you just need to sign up on our website, go to referralexchange.com, and we've actually included a special offer. There's a one-time fee to get started to submit referrals with us, and that's normally $995, but we have a special real estate technology coupon which gives you $100 off, and that's on the screen right now. It's RE Technology 100, and you can either go through referralexchange.com agent VIP, or just go to our website and ask for a consultation, and someone will walk you through the process of getting set up, and you can mention the coupon at that point.
Can I jump in here in a second?
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay. I've gotten a lot of calls over the years from agents throughout the country that have seen my testimonial on Referral Exchange. And the one thing I tell them as well is that, yes, you pay to sign up, but it's a one-time fee, and you make your money back in one referral. So it's like how many things that you do that you make your money back in the first referral. And I think agents like that because it's not a point where you're constantly putting, out money, where a lot of these other companies are, a continual fee. So that's one thing I always tell agents, and like I said, and the company's just great to work with. So like I said, it's just been a win-win situation for me.
That's great. Here's another one. Once the referral reaches the comparing stage, what percentage of the referrals actually close? Is the conversion rate different for raw and personal referrals after they reach the comparing stage?
Yes. So the personal referrals definitely close at a much higher rate, and that's about a 70 to 80% rate. And a personal referral is someone who knows who you are, because we always want you to own the referral. We always say that we're calling on behalf of you, and when the agents follow up, they will call and say, so-and-so asked me to give you a call. So we really have that continuous chain. So the personal referrals close at a much higher rate. The raw referrals, it's really you get in what you get out what you put in. So the raw referrals are going to close at about an industry normal rate. What we will do is call every raw referral about 7 times over a week-long period to try and get a hold of them. And once we do chat with them, we will ask them if they want to be matched to an agent. And one of the things that our service does is that you'll be able to track those referrals that are rejected and see why. You'll be able to see if it's a bad phone number, or if they're already working with an agent, or if the information is incorrect. So one thing that we do is make it possible for you to filter those referrals so you know what's going on with those raw leads. But of course, those are going to close at a much lower rate.
Well, there's lots of questions coming in. You guys are definitely having fun with this. If Referral Exchange pulls from the top producing agents in the area, how does someone who's not yet a top producer get referred? Is there a way for them to participate and sort of prove that they can be part of it? How does that work?
Well, really the focus of the program is to help you make money on those leads or those clients that you're not going to follow up on for some reason. Either they're moving out of the area, or they're not in your preferred price point, or they want a specific property type that you're not focusing on. So if you're a relatively new agent, or you haven't been in the business that long, this is a great way for you to get incremental business that you wouldn't normally have, because you're going to reach out to your friends and family members who might be in a different state to help you get that referral business. Once you close your first submitted referral from us, you become eligible to receive referrals. So you have to close a deal with us because we want you to know how to manage that transaction, and we want you to have skin on the game to participate. I would say if you're a new agent, really having something unique about yourself. Perhaps there's a language that you speak. Perhaps there's an area that you focus in on that's different, or a certain property type that you focus on. Those, because those are such important factors when we're matching people, those will help you get referrals after you close the deal with us.
Gotcha.
Another question is, think the business,
go ahead, Ginger.
I'm sorry. But the other thing is, I think this is also good for agents that have been in the business for a long time that are looking to pretty much, I'm not going to say get out of the business, but stay in, but still be able to refer their leads out that they have. You know what I mean? And still make some money off of it. So it does work on that end as well.
Gotcha. I think we just wanted to repeat this, and a couple of people have asked, what is the cost of fee associated with a referral received, and then what's the one-time setup fee cost?
So the one-time setup fee is $995, and again, I have a coupon for $100 if you just use that code and let them know that you attended the real estate technology webinar. Then you'll be able to get $100 off the one-time setup fee. And then when you do become eligible to receive referrals, the referral fee that you pay is anywhere from 25% to 35%. We get our referrals in a couple of different ways. The first is a consumer direct website that we have, so consumers are coming to us directly asking to be matched to agents, and those referral fees range from 25 to 30%. And then we do have agent referrals, and we do have partner referrals, and those are 35% referrals. When an agent, for example, like Ginger, who has a client who's moving, she'll go ahead and put it into the service, and that will be a 35% referral fee because we're going to keep 10 basis points, and we're going to give Ginger 25 for submitting the referral.
Gotcha. There's a question here. Is there a way to find out how many agents are in our specific area before we sign up?
You can. You know, if you speak to the agent, it's a bit hard because it's not really about, it's less about getting the referrals than it is about making money on the referrals you have. But with 20,000 agents, we're pretty populated along the real estate business. So depending on the real estate market, we tend to be popular in the areas where real estate business is the heaviest.
Gotcha.
I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. Here's another one. As a referral director, what would be the best way for me to participate in the network to generate leads for my company?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I think if you're a referral director, what you can do is get a license for your office, and then you can have all the agents in your office submitting referrals to you. So it's an opportunity for them to make some incremental income and it makes your life as the referral director much easier because you have a source without you having to do the work to find the agents and follow up on all the tracking on whether they're getting paid and what's going on, because we do all the work on your behalf. So from that perspective, it's a great way to manage your company's relocation or referral business.
And would they, if they want to learn more about that, should they also go to referralexchange.com/agent VIP, or is there a different URL? That one's good for them as well?
I would just go to referralexchange.com, and then the agent VIP just helps you sign up, or just go ahead and email sales@referralexchange.com or info@referralexchange.com, and we'll go ahead and get you connected to the right person.
Okay. One question for you, Ginger, which is more about your amazing sales activity, it looks like. How do you get the confidence and/or courage to do the things that you do, which are pretty gutsy? How do you get yourself in that right place to be able to start doing those kinds of things?
I don't know. You know what? Like I said, I think the biggest thing, this is going to may sound a little bit strange, but I always look at every day where, there's people out there that you don't know. So like when I was saying, being in a grocery store or wherever it may be, hospital, whatever, I always, if I see somebody walking by me and they're looking down or they're not, I always say hi purposely. But it's always a point that, you know what, in this business, and I think, a lot of realtors are outgoing and, you have to put yourself out on the line. It's like, I just tell myself, you know what, if I'm not meeting people, I'm not going to get any business. So it's a constant where I just do whatever it takes to just meet people. And like I said, you never know who you're meeting on a given day.
Exactly. And along those lines, how, you talked about doing, it sounds like you're very proactive. You do a lot of really neat things for writing articles and things like that. How do you find the time to do that in addition to all the other crazy things that realtors have to do?
Because I'm a workaholic. And you know what, though? So this is my 18th year as a realtor, and I'm like, I don't consider it work. Like, I love what I do, and every deal's different, and every buyer's different, and every seller's different. But it's just like, I can't go to bed till my work's done. So like, if I have gone to bed and think, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I end up getting back up to do it. But it's just, I really enjoy what I do, and I think it's because of the people I meet. And like I said, for me, this Referrals Exchange has just really expanded my business, that it's like I've made money that I never would have, because I've just said, you know what, I've got to think. And you can't, in this business, you have to constantly think referral, 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 whether it's a personal referral, somebody you know, or somebody, like I said, within, you know, a company, or a company, you know, or company's referral exchange, where, you know, you're getting referrals that way. So it's just, it's been, like I said, for me, it's just been a complete enhancement to my business.
Gotcha.
And I think, Marilyn, if I could just add really quickly, I think I loved what Ginger said about 5 business cards a day, or I know that I tend to get really nervous about talking to people sometimes, so that's why I have my 15-minute rule. So set some mini goals for yourself when you're going to do that. So say, I'm going to hand out 3 business cards today, and that makes it doable as opposed to I have to talk to everyone. So pick goals that you can achieve. When I get on a plane, or if I'm in a networking situation, I always say, okay, I have to do this for 15 minutes, and then I can go do something else. So I'm really, anybody can do anything for 15 minutes. You know, so set yourself some mini goals to do what you want to do. Also, in terms of time management with the articles and the flyers and things like that, I'm a big advocate of repurposing. So, for example, some of the flyers that we talked about, you can use those flyers at open houses, you can use them at listing presentations. So if you are thinking about writing an article, post that same article, turn it into a blog that you posted on your website, post it on Facebook and link to the blog, take that blog and repurpose it for a newspaper article. So you're not starting from scratch, but whatever you're thinking about doing, think about, can I use this multiple times? So that makes things a lot easier as well.
That's great. And do you think, like, after a year goes by, you can post it again if it's sort of timeless content? Can you use it over and over, like, throughout the years?
Absolutely.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, I'm going to final with one final question. Thank you so much to everyone. I think it's been a great discussion and fabulous information. Thank you so much, Ginger, for bringing us the street view of this and how it really does generate business. The question is there a certification for your technology in order to receive the referrals in addition to closing our first referral?
Not really. I mean, you have to have a certain number of years experience in the selling real estate, and or done a certain number of transactions. So go to our website, we'll provide information, but really the entry point is if you have a special skill and we need an agent, and then we'll go ahead and recruit them for the network, but we really look at the top 5% in the marketplace, or folks who have, you know, some special unique areas or focus that can help you close deals. And when you do become eligible to receive referrals from us, we do ask that you become a developmental agent. So we're going to give you referrals. We're going to work with you to be successful, because really what we want are people to have great real estate experiences, and both for you and our clients. So we want to make sure that it's a great referral experience for everyone involved.
Gotcha.
So if you go to our websites and you go to the FAQs, you can see all the requirements for signing up and what we need.
Wonderful. All right, well, thank you so much, everyone, and those that hung in there with us 10 minutes after. I really appreciate it. You see on the screen, if you want to sign up for the program, go to referralexchange.com/agent VIP. I'm sure if you have questions, they will answer them there as well. And don't forget your $100 discount of RE Technology 100. And if any of you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to me if you'd like at marilyn@retechnology.com. And other than that, good luck. I hope all of you have an amazing 2017. I was just at Inman, and the energy is great. I think you guys are all going to have a great year. So, and yes, Lisa is really the key person that knows. She's the one that's been speaking and knows all about this program. She's at Lisa@ReferralExchange.com. That's on the screen there. And feel free to reach out with any comments, questions, concerns, and take it from there. Everyone have a wonderful day and a great year, and go refer. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. It was great chatting with you all.